All right, all you women out there, I am stealing Kevin's feed.
Oh, you are?
I am, yes.
For what reason?
Because I think that it's important that women understand some fundamental concepts about how to live healthy, long lives that are pain-free.
Okay. Well, having said that, Jen, in this video, I'm going to ask you some questions about what exactly that looks like for women over 40, especially because you are over 40.
Ask away.
And you do not look over 40, I might add. You look like you're 28. And that's a big reason why when we played kickball a long time ago, I came and finally confronted you. That's a whole other story for another video.
That is a funny video. It would be a funny video.
It would be. But in this video, we're going to address some things that I want to know from a guy's perspective. What is most beneficial for women over 40 to age gracefully and even reverse the aging process? Because my whole line of work is centered around men over 40. So I want to get a woman's input. Is that cool?
Yes, that's cool.
Okay,
so
great.
Longevity. So one of my goals...
Hold on a second. I have to interrupt you for 1 second. Please like and share this video if you haven't done so yet, and subscribe to my channel.
One of my goals is to make sure that I live a long, healthy, pain-free life. And the ultimate goal is that I make it to be able to see my son's 80th birthday.
Oh, wow. So if you see your son's 80th birthday, that would put you kind of close to the 100 mark,
100.
would it not? Okay, so you want to be a centurion. Centurion. Centurion or centurion?
I don't know, but I want to live to be about 100 years old. Maybe 101 is my goal.
Boy, that's fantastic. And I had a battery of questions to ask you, and I think you just added some questions I'm going to ask. So, all right, I want to ask, first of all, what is a daily ritual you do, like every day, that's a non-negotiable that you consider is quintessentially important for all the women over 40 years old to establish a long life or longevity?
I would say my number one is I eat fish every day.
Really?
I do.
Every day?
Every day.
I live with you, and I do know you eat fish. I didn't really think you ate it every day.
Pretty much every day.
Do you have any concerns about the mercury content in fish?
No.
Okay. Do you think that's overrated?
I think that if you consistently eat the keystone, like the top of the food pyramid fish,
yeah,
and that's all you eat and it's raw, so for example, tuna. If you eat tuna every single day and it's raw, perhaps, yes.
Okay.
But that's not what I eat. That's not my diet. So either a fish or shellfish.
Okay. So you go with cold water fish.
Yes.
Like from Alaska or Norway, or like these cold water fish that come from other countries and stuff, yeah?
Mm-hmm, most of the time.
Okay. And you have no fear of the lead poisoning and all that jazz and cadmium and all these other things that people talk about?
No. I grew up on Lake Erie, and fish was just a part of our normal diet. So, walleyes, northerns, just the fish that was there in our local community, crappies. Crappies are super sweet. I love them.
I've never ate crappie in my life.
We don't really get them here. But fish, like fish, shellfish, shrimp, clams, oysters, mussels, those types of fish. And that's important to my diet. And I've always really appreciated fish. And I think that it's one of the reasons why my joints stay healthy and my skin is always really nice and glowing. And I just think that that's my number one thing. If I were to take away, just over my lifetime, I consistently eat fish, and it's part of my regular diet. Okay,
so that was my next question, is why do you think this would benefit women over 40? And you kind of answered it, and I think what you're getting at is it has a high concentration of omega-3 fatty acids, yeah?
It does.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's good for brain function, elasticity of neurons in the brain, and it's also good for joint health and skin, like you said. And maybe that's why you look so doggone young. That's a good, that makes sense now.
I think so. I think that, it's one of the reasons. I think, so then number two,
okay.
My number two thing is...
Go ahead, lay it on us.
It's really hard to keep a positive mindset.
Oh yeah, especially in today's world?
I think in any world.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep a mindset. Like whatever
even in the upside down too.
Right. But there are so many lessons that you experience, and all the ups and downs of life that you experience. For me, it's always important to take one good thing away from a lesson or a mistake that I made. And one of the things that my dad taught me early on, like when I was a little girl, is that you make the decisions that you make with the information that you have at that moment. And if it doesn't pan out, then was it really ever a mistake?
No, because I believe that there are no mistakes. Everything happens for a purpose, and you learn a lesson from everything, even though sometimes it hurts, and sometimes you feel like you're getting scraped off the ground with a spatula, but you're not going to make that mistake again, really, or you're going to go left of it, or if you get hit with it again, it's not going to hurt as bad because you've gotten stronger. It's like a muscle being broken down and rebuilding.
But the point is to assess your decisions.
Okay.
And reflect on them.
Mm-hmm.
And then take all of that information and move forward with it. But there's no sense in beating yourself up. Most especially if you took, all of the data and all the insights that you had from previous decisions to make a decision. Sometimes things don't pan out, but give yourself some grace, especially if you assessed the decision in a very pragmatic perspective. So being able to assess and then have a positive mindset to take away at least one lesson learned that you'll incorporate into how you make decisions about your life going forward.
So we're addressing mental health right now. And that's one of the ways that you prevent your mental health from going downward in a downward spiral is to not attach to negative outcomes and try to find a learning lesson in them and try to always stay positive no matter what.
That is correct.
Okay.
And the reason that that's really important is because the way that we talk to ourselves, I believe, has an impact on our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And our soul walks around in this vessel, in this body that we have. And if we're speaking negative thoughts about ourselves, then it will show up. Like the body keeps a score. And so being able to say, you know what? That didn't turn out like I wanted it to turn out. I'm going to take this one thing and I'm going to move forward with my life. And I'm going to then give myself some grace. And how that mind-body connection works is really important. And don't ignore that.
So the bottom line is don't be so cruel to yourself. Forgive yourself, move forward, and think positive.
How we talk to ourselves is really important.
Okay. I'm a firm believer in that. Always have been. All right, now, let's talk about your training practices. What do you do to keep your bones strong, number one? Because I've been doing a lot of clinical work with women lately in this age management medicine clinic that I work at part-time. Mm-hmm. I've been doing a lot of DEXA scans, and I've been seeing a lot of frameworks of bones and stuff like that. And I'm able to determine where someone lies in the continuum of osteopenia or osteoporosis and all those kind of things. And as you women all know out there, that then becomes, not a red flag, but it definitely becomes something you want to take interest in over 40 years old. Mm-hmm. What do you think about your bones, and what parameters do you take? What action steps do you take to keep your bones strong?
So I think that there's two things around bone strength.
Okay.
For me personally. Mm-hmm. So to keep your bones strong, you just have to keep your muscles strong. So your bones are, they're the framework, and your muscles wrap around your skeletal system. Mm-hmm. And so keeping your muscles strong is important. But what's even more important is your agility and your balance and your flexibility. So I think balance and flexibility, and then how you use your muscles, is important. And so being really aware of, like, oh, my left leg is stronger than my right leg right now, is really important, because what ends up happening is that when a muscle group isn't as strong and you're active, that particular muscle group will lock in that major joint to stabilize it. Mm-hmm. And then what ends up happening is that you may think that that area is strong, but it's actually weak. And your bones or your muscles are all, acting to protect a major part of your body.
I call that threat, by the way. That's a good way of putting it.
Right. So for people who are active, like myself, sometimes I get myself into trouble where I may not know that a certain muscle group is less strong. And so having a balanced muscle system will lead to agility and your ability to use your body comprehensively. And so that piece is really important for bone strength.
Okay, so tell us some key exercises you do, because when you do strength training, muscle pulls on bone, causing it to be stronger. And as we are all well aware at this point, I'm going to reiterate this, load-bearing exercise or weight-bearing exercise is quintessentially important for strengthening bones too, which can be walking, jogging, jumping rope, hopping, those kind of things.
Yes.
So do you do any, I know you do all the hopping stuff because you love jump rope, right? So would you suggest doing that, number one, for bone strength?
Yeah. So
some form of hopping or some jumping rope or anything?
So jumping rope, and for people who are a little bit older and and are working on their dexterity and agility, I love the ropeless ropes for that.
Okay.
Because then you're not tripping over anything.
No, that's true. That's a good point.
Right? So you're able to really focus on your hop, and it gives you really good bicep strength and your wrists.
Range of motion.
Right? The range of motion, which again goes back to agility. And then the bouncing on the floor sends really great reverb through your whole skeletal system, especially your hip girdle, which is oftentimes overlooked, but it's really important for especially as we age.
The ropeless rope she's talking about are by this company we like called Cross Rope, and it's basically a handle with short ropes like this long and weights on the end, so you can hop up and down. And she made a good point. If you don't feel comfortable jumping a rope under your feet and you might stumble or trip, these work great because you just got to hop and spin your arms around in circles. Now, I want to ask you this question. From a strength training perspective, are there any exercises you recommend or you do on a regular basis that you feel are really important for women over 40 to improve longevity?
Yes.
Okay, hit us with them.
So going back to the whole point about strength and agility, I like to use the resistance bands or the cable machines and do crossbody with my legs.
Okay.
And there's a routine that I do pretty much every day with a resistance band. And that is, a kick out, a kick to the side.
Oh, you're talking about the fitness loop thing, right?
Yes, the fitness loop.
Okay, so she's talking about those loops that you put around your ankles.
I put them around my ankles, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you do sideways movements, abduction and forward kicks and stuff like that from a standing position or lying position?
Standing position.
Okay.
Because then it helps to stabilize your core. You're working your core. And then you're stabilizing your hip girdle while then firing all of the major muscle groups in the quads and the glutes.
Okay. So you feel strengthening all these muscles that you're talking about improves your balance, your agility and stuff, and it'll help prevent falls as you get older and things like that? Is that the benefit you see mainly?
Absolutely. So that's a combination because you're balancing on one leg and then you're kicking out and then you're kicking forward.
That's great.
And then you're kicking back. So this whole area is completely engaged while you're engaging your inner thigh, your outer thigh, and all the quads as well. So it's just firing everything, and all the fine muscle movements that you're doing will help with stability and flexibility as well, because you're strengthening and you're getting more flexible because you're ensuring balance on the one leg.
That's a brilliant tip right there. All right, now let's talk about the beefcake exercises. Are there any heavy barbell exercises or kettlebell exercises that you swear by or think people should do? Women, that is.
I really enjoy the swings.
Kettlebell swings?
The kettlebell swings. And then...
How about Turkish get-ups?
I love the Turkish get-ups.
Kettlebell Turkish get-ups?
Yes.
Because I talk about them all the time, and I want to know your perspective.
I love them.
I think they're fantastic.
I like to add on things to my Turkish get-up, where I'll, put my hand up with the kettlebell, and then I'll march, and then I'll do a swing, and then I'll come back.
A snatch?
Down. Yeah, a snatch, and then I'll come back down.
Okay. Well, that's the good thing about the Turkish get-up is you can just easily add things onto them and build it into a whole workout in and of itself. What do you think about deadlifts or squats and those kind of things, the conventional drills?
So,
because we hear a lot of hype about those. Oh, do these, do these, do these. I don't particularly love them personally, but I just want to know your perspective from a woman's point of view.
I think that they're a staple, and people like to do them. I think that it could lead to overuse of a muscle group.
Okay.
And it doesn't fire like both sides of the body in a cross-body pattern.
Okay.
So I personally like to, if I'm exercising, if I'm dedicating time to exercising, it's important that I get a lot out of it. And I'm not just working like one-dimensionally. So if I can cross the body, so then it fires my brain, because your brain function as you get older is extremely important. So anything that's kind of a cross body. So I like the Turkish get up, and then adding those additional things to them. And I also like, what's the one that I do?
Windmills, double windmills. That's
I
good
like
for
the double
mobility
windmills.
and range. Yeah.
And I do a variation of the double windmill where I keep my back leg straight. And then I keep this leg straight too. So instead of bending the leg, I keep them both straight, and then I come down here this way.
Okay.
With it.
So that's going to be more of a flexibility angle than anything.
Right. It's flexibility and strength. So you're stretching the muscle and you're getting it stronger. And you're crossing your body.
This crossing the midline of the body that she's talking about, we spend a lot of time doing three-dimensional exercises. I talk about it in my videos a lot. And I can't stress it enough that when you do cross-body patterns, you're firing up a lot of neurons in the brain. And we always want to focus on keeping the brain as sharp as possible as we age, because if you lose your brain, then you're done, basically. You lose the ability to think, you lose the ability to be motivated to work out in the first place, or eat clean, or not eat late at night, or do all these other positive things. So we want to keep the brain as strong as we can. And by doing complex movements where you cross the midline of your body, you're going to get that. You're going to fire up the brain cells, and you're going to keep the brain as sharp as possible.
One thing that is really important that I wanted to call out that Kevin's saying is that when you have mental fortitude, it's actually created through intense concentration in these more complex body movements. And so your ability to keep the skill set of concentrating is extremely important as we age.
That's a good point. Now, before we leave exercise, one more question on it. What are your thoughts on cardio? Do you do it? Do you like it? Do you suggest women do it? And if so, to what degree and what way?
So as a lifelong asthmatic, it's very important to me, especially as I age, to keep my lung capacity that I worked really hard for. And I think that is true for any woman, even if you don't have breathing problems. So keeping really good lung capacity and having it be at the top of your list. Like, hey, I want to be agile. I want to be flexible. I want to be strong. And I want to just make sure that my body continues to move as pain-free as possible. Part of that is our cardiovascular system, and specifically your lung capacity. Cardio is important to integrate in. I don't overdo the cardio. It's a part of a well-balanced plan.
Because there's so many people who are afraid of cardio. Oh, don't do cardio when you're over 40 because X, Y, Z, and they create all these answers and reasons. And I love cardio. I'm not a cardio junkie. It's not the only thing I do. I do believe in the balance theory. I think there's a time and place for everything, and cardio definitely sits high on the list for both men and women over 40 for longevity. Because of that, what you just said, lung capacity, heart strength, if nothing else, and just staying fit without having excess fat on your body and trying to get, rid of visceral fat and problem area fat and stuff like that. And I think cardio is the best way to do that. I'm not afraid of it. And I highly suggest it to everybody out there.
Right, so lung capacity is extremely important
Yes.
to do that.
Yep.
And remember, your heart is a muscle. And when we do cardio and we expand our lungs and we consistently have good lung capacity, that means you're putting your heart in a really good position to be worked on a regular basis to ensure its strength.
Perfect. Now, one last thing. Do you do any fasting? This is fasting for fitness we're talking here, my page. So tell me about your fasting. I know you do because I live with you, but go into a little detail to women over 40. Give them some advice on how you utilize fasting in your daily and regular routine, and any kind of red flags they should look out for or cautions they should have about it.
Right, fasting. For fasting, it's important that people understand that my grandfather was a doctor, and he specialized in cancer research. He and my father taught me about the benefits of fasting when I was a little girl. They never forced me to eat breakfast.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so
They were smart, ahead of their time.
well, even then there was a significant amount of research about fasting. Like the Greeks.
Yeah, true.
Right, the Greeks.
Well, yeah, it dates back thousands of years, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
And so my grandpa Doc, who was an avid researcher, he specialized in cancer research. His research dated back to Greek history and how they stayed healthy and athletic. And that was all passed down to me when I was just a little girl. And the importance of fish in a diet. Right, so that also comes to back to what the Greeks believed, fish and diets. So I had never felt or was forced to eat unless I felt hungry. So when you feel hungry, assess what you're craving, and you eat that particular thing in a healthy way. And so fasting has always been a part of my protocol since I was young, because of the way that I was raised. And
that's probably why you look young still.
I just think I think it's really important. And when my father passed away, my brother said to me, it was a gift he gave to me, and he said, you took everything that Dad taught you, and you truly are his legacy. His father taught him about these things, and they were both athletes. And so because of that, fasting has always been a part of my routine, my daily routine. So I pretty much, fish in my diet, regular part of my diet, and I do time-restricted eating. I've done it since I was a little girl. And I was never forced to eat everything on my plate. I'm very attuned to how my body feels when I'm eating something. And so if I start to get full, I just stop. And I
see it all the time. You're like,
okay.
I'm starving. We eat, she eats half her plate and shoves it away. And she's like, I'm full. And she gets up and walks away. And I'm like, I'll just mop that up for you, thank you.
Yeah, but I was never, and so my mother, that was part of my mom's perspective on, because she came from a family that forced her to eat everything on her plate. She allowed us the choice. Do you eat everything? Do you not eat everything? Make sure that you're attuned to your body. So I think that it's really important that you're attuned to your body. And I do time-restricted eating. I eat twice a day. And then around about a month, once a month, I'll do one meal a day. But there are times when throughout the month, maybe once a month, where I won't eat for a whole day. And I'm totally content with that. For lots of different reasons, but I do a myriad of different types of fasting, yes.
So you mainly follow, would you say, like a 16-8 protocol daily, or 16 to 18 hours daily, and then once a month you do like 24 hours or so?
Yes, and then once a week, and that I'll just eat once a day, once per month.
Once per month, okay. And you don't eat late at night, I know that.
No, I don't. I mean,
Talk a little bit about that.
I don't know, I don't like the idea of food in my belly while my body's trying to recover at night.
That's a brilliant, beautiful point right there. And that's one thing a lot of people overlook. And I tell people all the time, if you're just going to do one thing to change your lifestyle and flip some switches, it's stop eating late at night, stop eating before bed, stop eating at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, even 7 o'clock. Try to be done, completely done, ideally by 5 p.m. And if you can't make it there, get to the closest to 5 p.m. as you possibly can, because she's absolutely correct in saying your body goes into recovery mode when you're sleeping, and if you eat right before bed, you completely throw everything off and disturb that, and it's the last thing you want to happen.
And the reason why that happens is because your body is now focused on digesting the food versus taking an accounting of what it experienced throughout the day and helping you restore yourself in your body during the nighttime while you're sleeping. It's very busy restoring and making sure that it's taking care of you throughout the night. And if it has to digest a bunch of food, then you're loading onto what your body has to do.
One last question I want to ask you, and then we're going to wrap it up. Are there any particular foods, minus the fish, we know you like the fish, but is there anything you would say is strictly off limits in your diet plan? And is there anything particular that, aside from fish, you would suggest eating in addition to that? to boost your health over 40 years old for women?
Okay, so an item that I just don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be controversial.
That's all right. Look who you're talking to. It's me.
I do not eat anything with a hoof or a feather.
Oh, interesting.
So no warm-blooded animals.
Okay. When's the last time you had a warm-blooded animal?
I can't remember.
So it had been early childhood?
No, it wasn't that far back. But
Okay. You just feel you function more optimally without thinner, what is it? Feather and hoof, right?
no feather, no hoof.
Okay.
Right, and I just feel like it takes a lot for my body to process that type of
All right, now
protein.
we're talking. Yeah.
And it actually causes, in my body, it causes inflammation. Now, in another person's body, it may not do that. But it's very difficult for my body to process warm-blooded meat.
Okay. Fair enough. So you have awareness with your diet. You know what works for you and what doesn't. And through your years of practicing eating and fasting and doing different things, you've come upon something that worked great for you.
Right.
Okay, now, one supplement that you take on a regular basis. If you had only one to choose from, what would it be? And which one would it be that you feel would be most beneficial for boosting longevity? And this is a tough one. If you ask me that question, I'd have a hard time answering it, but go ahead.
It's easy for me.
Okay, go ahead.
It would be the liquid calcium with vitamin D and vitamin K.
Really? Well, that's something you don't hear much. Expand.
And it's pineapple flavored.
Expand a bit on that.
So
Elaborate.
I have always had a hard time, my body's had a hard time breaking down and digesting supplements.
Mm-hmm.
They make me tired, they upset my stomach, and so now that I'm older and I'm very focused on my bone density, I set out to find a product that worked for my body. And so the liquid calcium with vitamin D and vitamin K with the natural pineapple flavor, it's the one thing that I take on a regular basis. And I take it at night because even though my body can more easily digest it, it does make me a little bit tired.
Which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, so I take
Because
it
it's
at night.
nighttime. Yeah. Okay, that was brilliant. Now, do you have any last parting words you want to tell everyone out there about anything we didn't talk about?
I don't think so. I
You
think
good?
we covered, everything was pretty comprehensive.
Okay, that was fantastic. Thank you so much, babe, for your input today.
Yes,
I think
of
that was
course.
very beneficial. Just know that never feel overwhelmed if you're over 40 and you're just like, I'm out of shape, I'm overweight, I need to start doing things. Don't get nervous, don't get stressed about it. Just take it one step at a time, one little change at a time, every single week, and just keep adding to those. And those little victories add up over time, they become big victories. You start small and you grow tall. It's really that simple. And over the big picture, if you need any help, make sure to hit me up and send me a DM if you want to do some coaching or training. And also, drop us a comment and let us know what kind of longevity activities you're up to, and if you resonate with anything that we were talking about or Jen has been doing. And if you have any more questions or comments, let us know. Also, make sure to like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful day. Jen, let's give him a double gun. Ready? Here we go.